Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Resale Market. Thank you for joining us on episode 256 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, I'm here with Trevor and Damon. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Wait, don't laugh. No one knows what you're laughing at. So
I don't care. People can speculate about it. It's funny. I almost wanted to interject at the beginning there, but
it's fun when I make a mistake literally on the first sentence or I guess it's the second sentence I read. So
yeah,
which you're not getting. Nobody's gonna out there. Nobody's gonna hear that because it's not gonna be in the show. So I really only know. Yeah, the only time I ever edit stuff out is when stuff like where we screw up really badly. Half the time. Mm-hmm. If we screw something up, I will typically leave it in. It's just when I flub the entire beginning of the podcast, then it becomes a problem. So I think
you should just speed it up so that people it'll just and then and then go to what it actually was.
I just bleep it. I should just do a big bleep sound over it.
No, speed it up so that people can't hear what it's saying. But
I'm suggesting an alternative. Yeah. No, that's funny.
Yeah, you can try it too.
There are some people that listen to us on 1.5 speed, which I think is funny because I really always wonder what my voice would sound like in 1.5 speed. I mean, I've never done it, but I mean, I've watched videos before on 1.5 speed and it's kind of funny, right? But there are people that
do that with audiobooks.
Yeah, with audiobooks. Yeah.
I do that. Yeah, same thing as I don't want to sit there and listen to the whole book at regular speed, so I can get people wanting to listen to us at half speed. And I'm sure it probably doesn't sound any worse than I think my voice already does sound when I listen to it, but I'm sure I wouldn't like it either way.
I mean, I don't like my voice in general, right? So I get it. Damon's just sitting back there quietly because he's eating cereal. So
good cereal.
Yeah. That's what we determined, that he's having cereal. So, so let's go ahead and get started. Unless there's anything random you guys want to talk about, I'm going to talk about some personal news that I put in the Discord. Was it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So I don't want to make it sound like it's a bad thing. But yeah, I'll talk about that because we do have a topic that's related to it. So we can talk about it then. But anything else we want to bring up before we get into this?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. So Jason G via Discord. Question for next episode. Tips for booking ADRs for a group of 10. Backstory. My family of 4 is vacationing with another family 6 this summer. We're planning on trying to do most of our ADRs together if possible. Any tips on how to book for a group of 10? So I'm sure Damon's going to have some stuff on this too, because Damon, although I don't know, Damon, if you actually do the booking or not.
I mean, I don't, but I mean, ours was only a group of 8.
No, it's close. Yeah. I mean, just large groups in general, I guess. Right?
Yeah. I think anything over 6 is kind
of. Yeah. I just let the other person decide whatever they want to do and then have them book everything for us. That's the easiest for me. Then they're doing whatever they want and I don't really care what I do. So it doesn't matter. So that's the way we've done it. Do whatever you want. Just throw us on the, we link our stuff up together and then just throw us on the, what's it called? That's it.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I just did this, right? So this is a recent experience for me. And this is the trip I'm about to go on is the most people I've ever had on a trip. Right. So this is kind of a newish experience for me in dealing with booking for this many people. And so one of the things I realized very quickly, I was on as early as I could be in the morning. Right. Immediately I noticed when I was putting in 10 for some of the restaurants, it was just immediately saying there was nothing. But then if I put in 8, then all of a sudden there's all these times available. Right. So I noticed there's certain restaurants, if you go over 8, I don't know if that's really where the limit is, but if you go over 8, they'll just outright say that there's nothing available. And so what we did for those was we booked the 8 and then we booked another reservation of 2 for around the same time. So close to the same time. in the hopes that, maybe they could put us together or whatever. But yeah, so we had to do this for a couple things but it ended up working out actually, because the ones that we needed to do that with, they had times that were either the same time or around the same time. But I would say, maybe just try to break it up between the 4 and the 6, and because it might just be easier to book with 4 and with 6 as 2 separate reservations, and just try to get them really close to each other. That might be a good strategy. But I don't know, Trevor, if you have any thoughts on this.
Well, so I had to do this back in 2019 because when I went and met up with some friends in Disney, there was it was actually 12 of us, and so the way I approached it was, first of all, from the communication standpoint was, we were all in a group chat, and I said, hey, I'm going to be booking reservations. Are y'all good with this? And, kind of like Damon, people were like, I don't care, just book whatever. But then I just went in and started. So I found a Skipper Canteen booking for the day that we were there. And I just told everyone, I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. And, didn't really give them an opportunity to debate it because it was such a big group. And I kind of agree with Damon that, if you are going in such a big group, everyone does have to concede that one person needs to be doing it. Or if you're not doing that, then you're forcibly splitting up into multiple groups. Because I get it. Like, you want to have everybody together the whole time. But even like in your scenario, there's no guarantee that, the 8 and the 2 are going to be put together, right? Like they'll try.
Yeah.
But, if you, depending on the timing and whatnot, they may just say, sorry, that group of 2 is sitting on the other side of the restaurant, too bad, so sad.
Well, and my group of 2 is not coming anymore. So now we're just, we're good on all the reservations anyway, but that's how we were able to book them. But
yeah. So I do like your idea. I was thinking the same thing about, if you're getting into that big of a group, I think you do have to agree that, try and get a couple of big sit downs together, but again, also look at the restaurant and look at, I think it's also a matter of certain restaurants can't configure the tables necessarily the way that you want them. Like when we went to Skipper Canteen, they were able, they pulled a bunch of tables together and they made it into one long table, and that was fine. But so, if you went to prime time 50s diner, they can't really do that because of the way the restaurant's configured. Like
Sci-Fi drive-in, the certain ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you have to kind of look at the restaurant and look at how the restaurant's configured, and then tie that back to your party. And like I said, it's, it is a discussion with your party. If people don't care, it might just be easier to just do the split into 2 groups, and, you're all there at kind of at the same time, but you're sitting at 2 different tables. Right.
Yeah. I mean, you would hope that they'd be able to try to get you together, but like you said, some places it's just not conducive to that, right? Like they just can't, based on their setup, do that. But that's what we did. I actually was able, and I'm not doing a preview for my trip yet, but I actually grabbed a Space 220 reservation for 8 of us, which I was surprised I was able to grab that. It's for lunch, so which I'm actually okay with, especially with the kids and everything. But
that's a good thing.
I agree. And for 8 people, I was shocked that popped up as an option. But that's what I would say. Maybe just listen, Jason, just maybe concede that you guys aren't going to sit together during these. Like if you can get reservations around the same time and you don't sit together, I mean, it's not the end of the world. If you could get them all, as one big group of 10, that would be great. But if you can't, you can't, right? So, at least try to book them as the 4 and the 6, and then you can hopefully try to get them near each other if you can't get 10. So that would be my recommendation. Like Trevor said, really good idea to have one person doing this as opposed to multiple people. I for my upcoming trip, we agreed on all the restaurants ahead of time that we were going to try to target, and then I just did all of it. So it was just easier to do it that way. So
yeah, sometimes you got to volunteer as tribute.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. So Chris had an interesting question here. As I get older, in mid 40s, I find that I do not need or want a whole meal to satisfy us. Well, okay. Often I go to a sit down, Disney or not, and my wife and I just want to split an app and an entree. I'm very cautious of the interpretation of this from the server. I tip very well to reflect this, but the server does not know that from the beginning. The issue is I feel the server often makes prejudgments when we do this, and we're never charged a splitting fee. I don't feel like I've ever been anywhere that's charged a fee to split stuff. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. But not at Disney, at least. Yeah.
Not Disney. Yeah. I mean, I don't, even outside of Disney, but he goes on to say, additionally, I never felt Disney servers downgraded our level of service for this. I just get uncomfortable silence when we do it. Where do you stand on splitting meals at sit downs? Do you mention it to them? You'll reflect it in the tip? I think do what you want to do, right? Like, mm-hmm. I mean, I understand though, like the concern, like about the waiters and being concerned about the tip and stuff like that. I always feel that way. Like whenever I do when I do the DVC discount, where I get like 15%, the 15% off. I always want to like say to the waiter, like, no, I'm going to do it on the original total. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to think I'm just going to give them the tip on the discounted total. Cause, so I kind of understand what you're saying here, even though I don't really split the meals. You're always, you can be worried that the waiter is, bummed out that they're having to serve you because you're not getting as much food. But
so, yeah, I get all that, and I agree with the take on it. But I'll also offer this up that, and this is something I heard a while ago, and I don't always, practice this either, but these are, your server is, somebody that you're interacting with for a short period of time. Why do you care what they think?
That's a fair point.
And I'm not saying it's from like, don't tip or whatever. I'm saying, yeah, absolutely. Be conscious of, they're working, if you're showing up and getting a glass of water, that's rude. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that too I think they do understand that the portion sizes at Disney are huge. Like we've ran into this as well, where it's like, it's way too much food. And, we've done it at quick services where it's like, we all split like sides and stuff like that because we don't want that much food. But I guess at sit downs, we traditionally haven't done that, but that's not to say that you can't. And for us, it's, my wife and I can never really agree on what to eat. Like we never order the same thing at a restaurant. So,
oh yeah, that would never happen with my wife.
Yeah.
We never eat the same thing.
That doesn't work for us. So, but I think if you just say, hey, we're splitting something, I'm sure that they've seen it happen enough times. Your waiter or waitress is not going to, they're not going to care that much because you're one of many people that are coming through there at the end of the day. And like I said, I guess the way I look at it is if they're that bothered about it, that's kind of their issue. It's not your issue.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Is it the same in Canada, Trevor, where it's like, very much like when you go to a restaurant, it's, very much the waiters, pay is based on how much they tip. Like, is it the same kind of tipping culture as that we have here? Cause I know, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I think, I worked in a restaurant years ago, and so I can't speak in the last 20 years because I haven't worked in a restaurant that long. But
yeah,
but I know there was the everyone got a base salary, and I mean it wasn't like an amazing base salary, but then you got the tips on top of it. So it wasn't. I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, but some places it's like the tips are entirely the wages. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yeah. Like there are some places where they make like a couple dollars an hour, and then the rest of their salary is based on tip. So
right, I guess here that they do get paid like at least minimum wage. Like they won't pay them like less than that. And generally, or at least in my experience was, waiters and waitresses got paid more than that, but then a lot of their the additional money was based off of the tips, right? And
yeah.
Tipping up here is it's the same kind of thing where it's people habitually will tip at sit downs. Although I've noticed a thing lately where it's like you go to a place to like get like bubble tea or something, and they have it on like you go to pay and the little screen comes up and wants you to put a tip in, which I say no to, because I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you didn't do anything other than, working at the counter. Like,
That one
yeah,
gets me all the time. Yeah, because I feel bad about it but at the same time, it's like all you did was hand me food.
But
Like,
it's like, nothing's changed there. Like it's not like I said, I don't, and I'm sure people will disagree with me on it, and that's fine. That's just my perspective on it. But I don't feel that tipping culture up here is like I've never had like a waiter or waitress get rude at me because of tips or anything. Like I'm basing all this off of anecdotal stories I've heard where sometimes people will get upset about if you don't tip a certain amount. Up here it is still a tip. It's not like they're still getting paid at the end of the day. It's not like you're not, or that they're not getting a wage as well. So it's not great. Obviously that everyone wants to make more money when they can, but I don't see I guess when I'm in Disney, like I kind of tip the same way that I tip up here, and I've never had an issue with it when I'm there. But that's because like if I'm at a sit down, I do make sure I tip the waiter or waitress appropriately. And even if we were splitting meals, it would be like kind of the same thing that Chris is saying. So I would still make sure that it's like, hey, you were serving us, I'll tip according to that, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. David, I don't know if you have any opinions on this, but
No, I don't. I don't care that much.
Okay,
like
cool.
I'm just going to do what I'm doing, and that's that. I don't really care.
Deal with it. All right, I got one other question that was on Facebook here that we'll do. Justin says, "What movie without a live action remake would you make?" I mean, I feel like
a live action remake.
I feel like the answer there is Hercules in my mind, but
Hercules would be.
There's a good Hercules movie already.
Yeah, but like it's not the Disney version.
The same story.
Yeah, well, it's the same story. Yeah, but I'm saying that it's you do the Disney version of it.
I thought you were going to refer to the Kevin Sorbo series for a second there.
Is that what he's referring to? What are you
not
referring to, David?
No, he's not. But that's where I thought you were going for a minute.
No, why do I need another movie? That's the whole point. Like, right? Why do I need another movie of the same thing? It already exists. Cool. It was older. All right, fine. Like, give me something new. It's the same thing I feel about Disney rides. Give me something new, man. I don't need the same stuff over and over rehashed again.
Yeah. Okay.
So your answer is there's nothing that you would want to see as a remake.
Not a thing.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it's fair. A lot of people don't like the live action remake, so.
I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't gone to see any of them either. I've kind of like Damon. I have no desire to go and rewatch a movie that I watched 20 years ago, just redone in live action, because I don't know. It seems it's the same problem that I have with like remaking of video games, because that's been a trend in gaming culture lately. Is that and that's not to say that all of them are bad. Like it's not that they're bad because of that, but it seems like there's a lot of like pandering to nostalgia that I don't think we need. And like to Damon's point, give us something new and interesting. And even if it's in the same IP, tell a different story. Stop rehashing the same stuff. Because really, what are you getting out of a live action remake of one of these movies?
I mean, listen, I saw the Aladdin one, and I thought it was different enough, right? Like they did enough different stuff in it. I mean, it's still the same base story, but like obviously,
you know how it ends.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It just brought something different to it. But no, I don't disagree with this. I also look at it too as like they do these live actions because it's safer, right? I mean, like people are going to go and see them, like they're going to make money, right? So I don't know. It's always difficult to do a new franchise because like you could end up bombing, and then they spent all this money on something that didn't work out. So I don't know.
That's very hard to. I mean,
I'm taking this from a business point of view.
Yeah. But even at that, like there's some franchises that initially bombed at the theaters, but then they spawn a cult following, which ends up like it's not like sometimes there's slow burns, right? Like it's not fair to say, well, they didn't have a good opening weekend, so it's a bad movie. Like I don't know.
I also too, I think Big Hero 6 would make kind of a cool live action. Just throwing it out there. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, I haven't really thought about Big Hero 6 as a live action, so
I'm just saying you could. I think it'd be kind of
Yep.
cool.
Mhm.
All right, so let's move on to DVC stuff here. So first of all, we have the DVC member cruise has been announced for 2025. So this will be taking place. You'll be able to start booking on April 13th. So coming up in like a month here. It looks like it's going to be a 5-day cruise to Cozumel and Castaway Cay. Just looking at these other things. Have you guys, have you ever wanted to do a DVC member cruise? Like,
Nope.
No,
not in the least bit.
I mean, you do other cruises. You just don't want to do a member cruise.
Correct.
Okay. You just don't want to be around other DVC members, or?
I don't think I need to be around that many of them. It would be too much, man. Some of those people are extra, and I don't need a whole bunch of extra on a cruise ship. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a relaxing thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take the percentages of the extraness when it's only, a small percentage of people, way different.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys tell me you haven't talked to those DVC people that are extra. I think we all have, and they're just too much.
I think there are.
You're lying if you say
fans
no.
in general that are very extra, right? So, but
Sure.
yeah, DVC is a different level. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. That makes sense.
I mean, the interesting point about that too is, and like to your point about people who are extra about it, and I know this isn't the case with all DVC members, but we kind of make the joke about the monocle and top hat staying at
Grand Floridian,
right?
Yeah.
I feel like member cruises are the same kind of vibe, and that's not to say that everybody on there is like looking down their nose, but the funny thing is that it the whole thing about DVC is that it kind of makes you feel like you've got something special, or like it does have a bit of a VIP feel to it, but then when everybody on the boat is VIP, I think that doesn't feel good in my mind, right? Like
it's not as exclusive. It's just yeah, I get that.
Which I know is it's ironic because I'm kind of saying that I like that top hat and monocle thing, but it's when everybody's doing it, that's not that's not what I want to see.
I get it. Yeah. No, I get it. I'm sure there will be, a lot of people that will do this, and just so that everybody knows too, you have to, in order to be on the DVC cruise, you do have to be a blue card member. So you do have to have your well, it's not blue card anymore, but I don't want to call it.
I appreciate that though.
What? That it's only blue cards? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. That makes sense.
There'd be too many people gaming the system to get on those member cruises. Like, because if you offered it to everybody, like there'd be people that'd be like, I have 25 points and I'm just going to go on a member cruise. Like, yeah.
yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on though to talk about more cruise stuff. So Disney gave us a update at the new island, the Lookout Key.
But was it an update? Like, what's in there that we didn't know already? I
there's
don't
construction
understand. I looked at
pictures.
this and I was just like,
well, it's pictures of the actual construction.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. To me, if there's nothing really new information wise.
No, they're just giving a construction update. Like it's just, you can see how they're actually building it. That's all. I mean, there's some
like 2 pictures, man. 3.
Looks nice.
There's like,
it looks nice. I'm excited to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, it does look cool, and it does look like they're making a lot of progress. I don't know when is it when they saying this is going to open June 2024. Okay, I thought it was later than that. But...
No, because I'm going in June. I think I'm going. Yeah, I'm going in June to this thing.
Okay.
I don't think the first one, but like one of the first 5. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember specifically. I mean, the one thing I will say is that I'm kind of excited by this barbecue because I'm going to tell you that notoriously the worst meals are the ones on the island.
Okay.
Really?
They just are because again, you're on this cruise ship, right? And you have access to everything. And then it's like, okay, you can only eat this. And it's just, I don't know. I think that it's been the least favorite food has been on Castaway Cay.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
I'm happy that there's barbecue at least. I mean, that fits the vibe, but yeah, I mean, I guess, you don't want to spend a ton of your time eating anyway because there's so much to do and you really only have one day.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know necessarily like what I'm going to be doing there because, I mean, I know we went biking on Castaway Cay. I know we played basketball and volleyball. Like, I think there's more to do here, at least more cultural things, since I think that will be fun. But yeah, I mean,
we were looking at all the tours and stuff that you can do.
I don't do tours, but yeah, I mean, like I said, this cruise, the only thing I'm paying for is gas there and back. That's it, man.
That's the best way to do it right there.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to like add on tours and stuff like that.
That's fair.
Plus, the thing is, to be honest with you, maybe my third or fourth time, but the first time, I just want to like see what's going on.
You just kind of want to wander around and like check everything out.
See what's going on, man. Yeah.
If you're on tours, you can't really like explore the place, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't enjoy the everything that's going on. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, along with that, so they also posted some merch that's going to be on the new Disney Treasure, so I mentioned this in the Discord. So I'm officially booked on my first Disney cruise for next year on the Disney Treasure, which I'm very excited about, specifically for the Treasure, just because of all the parks, all the parks themed stuff, like the Haunted Mansion, bar place, and then the Jungle Cruise one, the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, like all that Disney park attraction stuff on the ship. I'm very excited to check all that out. So I'm going to be doing that in May of next year. So if anybody is going to be on the Treasure next year in May, you might be on the same cruise as me. But
you really want people on the same cruise as you?
Yeah. I like other human beings, Damon.
I don't. I mean, hey, listen. If the cruise was just me and my family, that would be the best. But
just you have the whole boat to yourself.
I mean, I'm just not trying to interact with people if I don't have to.
If you're on vacation, yeah.
Especially we're such a short cruise. How many days are you going for? That's the big.
It's a 7 day.
Yeah, way nicer 7 day.
How long is your cruise?
I think only 3 days.
Oh, that's a quick one.
I mean, I've done the 7 day ones before, so
yeah.
I think that they're way nicer because you get a chance to relax. 3 days, it's kind of like you're just going.
Yeah, you're trying to do as much as you can in a short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember where ours is even going because honestly, the only thing I'm interested in is Lookout Key, maybe Nassau. I mean, I don't even know, but we won't even get off the boat that day. To be honest with you.
Yeah, this one is my cruise is going to. I want to say Cozumel. I forget all the places it's going. It's like three. There's like 3 stops, and then but this one's like going to Castaway, not to the new one. So
yeah, I mean the thing is, like we were in Jamaica, we were in the Cayman Islands, but like, what are you doing? Like you're getting off, you're going into port, and then you're, I mean, Cayman was interesting just to kind of see the shops and stuff, but like not like we did anything. Like I walked around the Caymans. Okay, cool.
You walked around. Probably somebody probably tried to sell you some something random, right? Like
yeah, I mean, I think we got something good in the Caymans. I think my son got something cool. Like all the kids got something pretty neat in the Caymans, but I don't think we even got off at a few of the stops because the thing is, like, if I'm paying for this cruise, right, and the boat has 8 million things to do, you can't do them all. There's always some pretty cool stuff going on port days on the boat because, right, they kind of want to cater to the people that are still on the boat. There's not a ton of people. You get to do kind of cool stuff. Like, keep me on the Disney experience, right? Rather than, okay, so I have Disney experience on the boat or I can walk around Cozumel. I
mean, that's the same vibe as doing stuff during the fireworks, I feel.
Yeah. It's like where the ship's empty. Yeah.
Yeah, if everyone else is off doing other stuff, that's when you go and do things. And like you said, you have the whole ship to yourself sometimes.
Yeah, so it looks like it's Cozumel, and then we go to Georgetown, Grand Cayman, then Jamaica, and then Castaway Cay, and then back.
Probably the same one that we did. Yeah. I think we got off in Jamaica because the kids just wanted to say they were in Jamaica, but again, we were in the port for like how long, and then we walked around town, like I said, in the Caymans, and then didn't even get off in Mexico.
I get that. I mean, I've never been to Mexico, actually, believe it or not. So I'm actually, interested to check out Cozumel. So, I also haven't done a cruise since I was like, maybe like 13. So it's been a really long time since I've done a cruise. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Sure, it'll be very different than you remember.
I mean, well, also I'm doing a Disney cruise, and I'm pretty sure the one I did when I was 12 was like a what do you call it? Carnival. It was like a carnival cruise, so like it wasn't even like all that nice of a cruise. No offense to anybody that uses Carnival, but
I feel like somebody posted in Golden Buttons that they were doing a non-Disney cruise, and I was curious myself, to like, hey, so what do you think? We haven't done a non-Disney cruise in a long time either.
Yeah.
You get spoiled.
Well, that's the main thing I'm worried about, Damon, is that I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to want to do more of these, which I probably will. But
yeah, I mean, you get to the point where it's like, I mean, again, I enjoy cruising a lot, but again, it's more like, okay, so I've cruised how many cruises do I need?
Yeah, I get that.
So, I mean, I think you'll have more cruises, but I don't think that it's going to be something where like, oh, I need to cruise 3 times a year. Yeah,
it's funny because last time I've been on a cruise, it was like 12. My mom goes on cruises like 2-3 times a year. She's
retired though.
Yeah, she's retired. She goes on cruises all the time. Like they get free cruises sometimes. They literally will get free cruises.
Yeah. But again, they're retired. I think it makes a big difference if you're retired
100%. Versus
not. Because not that it's a waste of a vacation, because it's 100% not. Like I said, I really enjoy cruises, but when you're not retired, you could kind of experience the same thing by going out to dinner.
No, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean,
my parents were doing cruises and they got tired of it. They've actually stopped doing that.
Yeah. Well, I just want to talk about this merchandise that they're going to have in the Disney Treasure, which, the Disney's kind of putting out little things here and there. And, just to make me more excited, even though I'm a full year and 2 months out, which stinks to book something so far ahead of time and have to wait that long. That drives me crazy. I'm not impatient, but a whole year, and change, like it's a long time. But regardless, I'm excited to be on the Treasure. I'm excited it's going to be a couple months after its first voyage. So, but a lot of this stuff, Trevor, you said, like you want some of this stuff.
I'm jealous. I'm just going to put this out there.
Well, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Well, I'll get it for you, man. Just let me know what you want.
I mean, there's that Society of Explorers and Adventurers notebook looks really nice, and the Nautilus plant holder looks really nice.
I was looking at this plant holder. I'm like, I don't even want to put plants in it. I just want to have it like on a shelf somewhere. Like, don't even need to put plants in it.
And coasters so cool. Too. Like I know they're just coasters, but those are nice coasters.
They're very cool coasters. Yeah, they're extraordinarily cool coasters.
Like I said, I'm jealous because this is all like the kind of merch that I would love to see in the parks, and you'll never see it in the parks because it's on the Treasure. Like,
exactly.
What are they doing?
What about these glasses that do you see these cups that are on here? This the
20,000 League.
Yes. That's going to be a
diving bell.
Yeah. Those look way too cool. I feel like I need to get that. That notebook is really cool, Trevor. I totally agree. I listen, if you want it, it's yours, man. I'll get it for you. No problem.
Well, yeah, we'll have some discussions as you get closer. I mean, this is the thing, is this is like a year out, like you said.
I know it's a year out. Yeah. It's so long from now. Yeah. But yeah, listen, I'll get you whatever you want. It's cool.
Yeah, maybe there'll be more of this kind of merch between now and then. We never know.
Oh, I'm sure there will be. I'm sure this is just like a beginning teaser here. And I mean, let's see. They don't say that there's going to be more, but I'm sure there will be more. So, but yeah, that is really cool that they have a Society of Explorers and Adventurers. I love that they continue referencing that, like in like weird places.
I love it. I love it, and I hate it because
you want more.
I wish that there was the Adventurers Club was back and there was like something more solid. But the fact that they keep like you said, dropping little hints of it is like, come on, guys, please, like it'll be good. Like, just do it.
Well, you remember they were going to do that TV series around that, and I think I don't know if that died with COVID or I don't remember, but that was
somewhere in the last couple of years. It just kind of fell off.
Yeah, that was going to be so cool. They were going to make like this whole universe out of it too. I mean, maybe it's still on the table. They just haven't done it yet, but.
It's right there next to the Reflections plans.
Yeah, it's right there next to the Reflections plans. Yeah, exactly. I hope they change the name of that if they ever decide to build it, because I still feel like it sounds like a day spa, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go ahead and do our ad unless we have anything else we want to talk about here. All right, so the sponsor of this episode is DVC Resale Market. DVC Resale Market, a World of DVC company, is the leader in the DVC resale industry with 13 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 3 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere, with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. If you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days. In 2023, DVC Resale Market helped over 4,400 families join or add on to their memberships. Go to dvcresalemarket.com/welcome home or call 1-844-DVC-PROS. That's 1-844-382-7767. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. All right. So this one just popped up. Just like yesterday, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I watched this video.
How could you not watch this video?
It was cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if everyone saw this, but and this is has been a running joke with my wife and I for a while. And I don't know why. It's just we always laugh at the way he says hello, so we always go like hello. Like my wife and I do that to each other all the time. We just go hello. Like, right, just randomly, and it's always a bad impression of Patrick Warburton from doing the Soren pre-show. And so I guess to celebrate the California Soren over California coming back for a limited time, Patrick Warburton decided to well, I'm sure this was set up by Disney, obviously, but that he decided to come over and do the show live, do the pre-show live to guests. Yeah. Which listen, it annoys me generally that like Disneyland gets all these fun things like this, but I understand why, right? It's, obviously where a lot of the actors live. Yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. It just kind of stinks. But I just thought this was really funny. And really, people really kind of freaked out about it. And I thought it was cool that they did this.
Did you see he did a bit of a Kronk throwback in the spiel as well?
What? No, I missed that. What did he say?
Oh, he was doing the Cusco's poison stuff, but he was doing it about the safety.
Oh yeah. Okay, I totally didn't even that. Went right over my head.
He sat there for a minute, kind of doing the bit, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. It was. It's nice that he didn't just show up and do the safety spiel. He definitely, did a callback to other characters too, which is nice.
I did also enjoy that as people were walking by with their Mickey hats on, he was doing the, the nice work, pal.
Yeah. I will say, we've talked about meeting celebrities and stuff, and, most celebrities, if I was there for something like that, it would be I wouldn't be I don't care, but I'd be like, hey, cool. But Patrick Warburton's been in a lot of stuff that I like over the years, not Disney related either. He's been in a lot of other shows that I really enjoy.
I mean, he was pretty legendary in Seinfeld. Family Guy. Family Guy. He's done a lot of animated shows on Adult Swim. The Venture Bros. If for anyone that's watched that. My daughter watches a Baby Shark show, and he's the grandfather in the Baby Shark show.
It's like when you hear his voice, you're like, it's Patrick Warburton. He's one of those celebrities that I would have been excited to be there for that. That would have been that was really cool. I'm so glad I was there to see him, kind of thing. So I'm glad that they got him back for that, because I think a lot of people were worried that he was that they were going to replace him in the opening spiel. But yeah, I feel like Disney kind of knows how to read the room on that stuff sometimes.
Yeah, just to leave that in place. Yeah, I was worried when they changed the movie that they were going to change the pre-show, right? But it has become kind of one of those really legendary ones where you just can't change it, right? So. I'm trying to decide though, is this one's not as cool as when Johnny Depp was doing Jack Sparrow in the ride, right?
I mean, I feel they're kind of on the same level as far as Disney celebrities go. I know Johnny Depp is far more Like
It's a much bigger star, yeah.
yeah, like Pirates is a bigger thing, but people who are Disney fans also know who Patrick Warburton is. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, I feel like pretty much most people know because you probably watched something that he either voiced or was in, right?
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that's been in for a long time.
And I mean, people meme about like Emperor's New Groove stuff all the time. So
That is true.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Johnny Depp one was cool because he was actually like in the ride, but
well, he was in the ride too, Patrick was in the ride. Like he actually came out and like did the spiel like as people were.
I saw,
in the seats, so.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I was wondering to myself if he knew the whole spiel like by memory, or if he like you had to. I'm sure he had to brush up on it, but I'm sure he didn't have like cue cards or anything though. But like he didn't do it exactly either. He kind of was joking around with it too.
Yeah, and because he threw in some Kronk stuff in there as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally missed that. I'll have to rewatch this video. I kind of watched it on low volume, with around my family, so like I didn't hear the whole thing. But yeah, you know how that goes sometimes.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah. So I just thought that was cool. You can go and check the video out. It's funny though because I saw somebody had posted like a screen cap of like somebody posting on Twitter that like that he had done this, and I said to my wife, I was like, somebody had to have recorded this and put it on YouTube, and I mean. I wasn't thinking at the time, like, of course Disney recorded this and was going to put it out. Like, why wouldn't they? Like, this is obviously something they set up. So,
yeah. Right. I mean, I feel like for like, if you notice, like nobody had their phones out during that, which kind of makes me think that, they do a little bit of like prearranging, like, okay, you guys are going to have something happen. They don't necessarily tell them who's showing up, but it's like, just, no phones are recording during this time or something like that. Like, I feel like they kind of like prep the guests for it a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm sure they do. They know how to manage those kinds of things. All right, so let's do a rumor. We were talking, we were talking off the show about doing, reckless speculation like we've done in the past. But we haven't had like a really good.
And then you come with this garbage.
What? Okay.
Paris. Can we get something that's like topical at this point?
The Mandalorian's not topical?
Paris isn't topical for most of us.
I mean, that's fair. But apparently, there were rumors that are saying that Disneyland Paris is going to gain a Star Wars land in Disneyland Park, including a roller coaster inspired by the Mandalorian. I guess the interesting part of this statement, though, is that they're going to put like a Galaxy's Edge, but it's going to have a roller coaster. I mean, I don't know, instead of the other rides or in addition to the other rides, or they're going to do a whole different thing there.
It looks way smaller.
The area that it's going to be in?
I don't think they could do everything.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel they're trading off. They're trading off one of the other rides if they're doing a Mandalorian coaster.
I mean, so what would you trade off? Which one would you get rid of?
I think Rise of the Resistance is a much better ride, but it probably takes up way more space than, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, it probably takes up more space, I would say. So if you're doing it strictly on space concerns, I say you get rid of Rise of the Resistance. As far as how good a ride is,
want to get rid of, yeah.
I mean, I could do without Smuggler's Run. I mean, you can get rid of that. That's fine. Somebody said in the group they like Smuggler's Run. I mean, they like Star Tours better than Smuggler's Run, and
oof, no.
I mean, I like Smuggler's Run. I think it's fun. It's a cool ride, but yeah, I mean,
Smuggler's Run is, again, I don't think it brought anything new really, but I think it's cooler than Star Tours.
Yeah, because at least you're like interacting with it, and like I
mean, I feel like they're the same ride. One's just worse.
One's just worse.
I mean, they are both simulator rides, yes.
Yeah,
I
mean,
it's just worse.
Yeah.
But back to this Mandalorian roller coaster, I think I could kind of get on board with that. There's a lot that you could do with that, but you can't give me you can't give me Star Tours 2.0. Like, it's got to be a real roller coaster. It's got to be kind of something that. I don't know. How do you do it without screens, though? What are you doing for a roller coaster that's themed like that? I don't know.
Yeah, this is kind of my question: is what do they do with a Mandalorian roller coaster? Like, I mean,
you could do a ton of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. Yeah,
Are you doing screens? Are you not doing screens? I feel like you probably kind of have to do screens.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Guardians, you put, it would be, a big show space with screens and all that. But
it's funny. I don't really even consider Guardians a roller coaster. I know it is, but like
it absolutely is a roller coaster.
It is, but it's not. It's not a real roller coaster. It's just that.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bunch of screens. Like I could watch TV in a spinning couch and be the same thing, but neither here nor there. I feel like if you're going to do a roller coaster, let's do a real roller coaster. I feel like
you want to do like a really like a intense roller coaster is what you're saying.
Like it doesn't have to be roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like the Rock and Roller Coaster. I mean, Rock and Roller Coaster is a real roller coaster. Yeah, it'd be like that. But the thing is, I don't think that's themed like you would theme the Mandalorian. Like that's kitschy and cheesy. I like it, right? But after your initial, like once you get on the roller coaster itself, it's not. The theming is not there.
Yeah, how do you do that? Because like you said, the Mandalorian, I feel like they're like anything Star Wars, it's a lot of visuals. But if you're on a roller coaster, like it's hard to do visuals that work, right? Like
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm down for it though. I mean, for something different, maybe they have something up their sleeve. I mean, I doubt it, but I haven't. I said, I still haven't seen anything new. I think in the roller coaster world in general, besides like different inversions and things like that. But I'd be up for something different and new. About indoor coaster. Yeah, I think it's got to be indoor.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, how like they decided like when they like created the like the dinosaur / Indiana Jones vehicles, they were just like, let's throw a simulator on a car, base. What if they were to throw like a simulator on a roller coaster car, like where the car could actually it'd probably make you sick. I'm just saying.
I think you're inviting whiplash if you do that.
Just surprised they haven't tried it.
Well, I mean, you're talking about like a roller coaster simulator?
Yeah, a combination of a roller coaster and a simulator.
Well, I don't think like you're thinking of, but they had them in Epcot at one point, right?
But I know I'm talking about a real roller coaster, but it like bumps around like the cars on Dinosaur and Indiana Jones do.
Yeah, I mean, again, just give me different. I mean, if that's what it takes, okay. But you're right. Like, Disney's not going to push that make people sick agenda, right? Like, they're going to keep it as open as possible to as many people. I feel like. So I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah. But I think it would be cool. I think there's a lot to do with Mandalorian. I think it would be kind of neat.
I mean, I almost feel like you have to go with like the whole like the jetpack flying thing that like they did on that show, or like I mean I guess you could do it on a ship or
that sort of way, huh?
Doing like a hanging coaster, so you're
that would be interesting.
Yeah,
I could get down because Disney doesn't have one of those. Even though it's not something new, I do enjoy those coasters,
the flying coasters. Like,
yeah, and I think if it was because I mean SeaWorld has that one called the Manta. I think the first time we went on that, like. It was an experience for sure, right? I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I think if you had that themed up way better, yeah, that would be kind of neat. I could get behind that.
All right, there you go.
Even though it's not new, but it still is. I think it would have to be themed really well. I think you're inside and the whole thing is like, you feel like you're on a planet. Like give me the whole entire building as the ride, right?
As
you're flying over stuff on the planet and yeah.
Like,
it's not like where you're seeing select scenes. You're seeing the entire planet, and
you're also seeing it front, sides, and back.
That's tough. That's tough to do.
Yeah, that would be tough, man.
Yeah, because usually they're trying to make it so you can't see the track in those dark rides, right? But like if you have the whole room lit up, I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure they could figure it out. I mean, I also. Think that they're going to, obviously if they were to have this, there would be a Baby Yoda, Grogu, little animatronic, right? Like,
what if you just rode around in that thing instead? What if the cars were like his little bassinet?
I mean, yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Grogu next to you on the
Yes, you're riding in Grogu's bassinet.
So he's like attached to you, and as you go, he's just sitting next.
He's in the bassinet. Yeah, he's in the bassinet with you. He's kind of driving it from the front of the bassinet. Yeah. How's that? with the Force.
I could see that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, of course. Yeah. This article also links off, and I don't remember talking about this, but there was a patent that they filed. Oh, I kind of remember this actually, where they years ago, back in 2020, where it looks like they created a real version of like the floating Grogu thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. With it's just basically a drone. I mean, it's just a drone basically. Who knows if they end up using that at some point. I feel like I've been pretty impressed by even the little animatronic that the Mandalorian carries around in Galaxy's Edge. Like just the videos of that have been pretty cool that they can do that now. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens, right? But like you said, this is Disneyland Paris, but it doesn't mean like if it was successful, they could always, they will import stuff over to the American parks. Like, I'm assuming someday they plan to expand Galaxy's Edge at some point, I would think.
Yeah. That's fair. If it does well enough, we may see it in 5 years or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't think they're going to expand that? 5 years. 5 years is a generous timeline.
Yeah.
I mean, Tron should have been 5 years, but wasn't. Yeah.
But that was just, you're right. That was just kind of the same ride again, right?
Yeah, just pretty much copied it over, yeah. So
would have been here quicker if it wasn't for COVID.
Yeah, it would have, yeah. Yeah, that really messed up a lot of things, didn't it? But anyway, so that's there's a rumor. We did a rumor, so I'm going to try to find rumors every week, David. I know I do like talking.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the differentiator, right, of the podcast is rumors. Why not? They're fun.
Yeah. No, I like rumors if I can find them.
We can just make up our own rumors. So, to be honest,
we could do that too. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could. What were we going to say, Trevor?
I was just going to say, I'm sure that our listeners have probably heard and seen rumors, and they'll be sending us stuff. I guess
that's a good idea. Yeah,
yeah.
I guess as long as it's not like completely unhinged rumors is the only caveat there. Like, because there's some rumors I've read that are just like completely crazy. Like,
I feel like somebody sent us a rumor recently or posted it somewhere, and I was like, "Yeah, that's not true. Like, that's just ridiculous." I don't remember what it was though, but yeah, I mean, like you said, a feasible, actual that could actually happen. Now, given if you go all the way back to the beginning of our show, the very beginning of our show, you'll note that we did reckless speculation about the permits that Disney was filing. And the rumor was that they were building a gondola system, and a few of us maybe thought that wasn't true. Trevor, I think you were the only one.
Yeah,
you were the only one that called it. Yeah.
I mean, because to me that was not that outlandish, but I get it. And but I guess the thing is, if there was like a rumor where like they're going to pick up Disney World and move it to like Idaho or something like that. Like, come on. Like,
exactly.
It's not happening.
Yeah, exactly. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, and actually we could do some more reckless speculation on this one. I can't say that for some reason today. I'm getting all tongue tied today. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because we're doing this on a different day than we usually do. But so Disney has been for, I want to say, like in the beginning of the pandemic, has been working on this thing they're calling Disneyland Forward. Right.
Wait, this is Disneyland stuff, so I can leave.
If you want to, you can. But we were going to recklessly speculate about what this is going to be. But
I can't talk about Disneyland until I go. Like, you see me in 2020. Right, what did I say? Hold on. 26. In 26, I'll talk about Disneyland from then on.
All right, fair.
Okay, then I will take this one, Damon. So you're good.
So where Disneyland is a lot different than Disney World is, Disneyland has to get the approval of Anaheim to do just like anything, basically, which can be challenging, right? So they have basically been doing this whole PR push now for a couple of years. And this project is called Disneyland Forward. And by the way, there's a website for this. If you you can actually go and look at the website for Disneyland Forward. It's not like a secret project or anything like that. They've
been very vocal about it for a while now.
Exactly. And what this is going to be, so it's a proposed almost $2 billion expansion for Disneyland Resort. And that's going to be for hotels and theme park expansions surrounding the current footprint. And so we did talk about this, Trevor, at some point a couple of years ago, right? Like But now it's coming to a head because the planning commission of Anaheim voted to approve the proposal. So that's kind of was like their next step. Disney has kind of, you can look at some of the concept art they put out there, and if you look real close, you can kind of see a couple of the things that they are thinking about putting. But I think they've been pretty clear that they're just saying we might do this, right? Like,
yeah, it's entirely conceptual. There's no guarantee that this is how it will actually play out. But exactly. I think you're talking about specifically the Neverland stuff off to the one side.
There's also Wakanda's in there. I mean,
yeah,
there's all sorts of interesting, and I want to mention too. So if those that are familiar with Disneyland, it's essentially, let's see, where is it? Both Disneyland and Disney California Adventure would likely expand to west across what is now Disneyland Drive. New Disneyland attractions would be added to what is currently the guest parking lot for Disneyland Hotel. And then Disney California Adventure would expand into the current Simba lot with attractions surrounding the Pixar Pier Hotel. They're proposing adding 2 to 3 lands for each park. And then, what they had in here was Tangled, Peter Pan's, Zootopia, Frozen, Toy Story. But at the same time, Iger's been talking a lot about putting Pandora over at Disneyland. So I'm assuming that Pandora is going to be one of these things, right?
Well, I mean, I've also seen that Pandora, because there's a whole section in California Adventure that's very underutilized, and he's been very careful about saying a Pandora experience. So
yeah,
people are not extrapolating that to mean that it's a 1-for-1 recreation of Pandora in Animal Kingdom. It could be on a smaller scale, and so there is opportunity for them to put it into California Adventure before any of this stuff comes to fruition for Disneyland Forward. So, but I get what you're saying though, is, there is potential for them to, use that as also a selling point
exactly
for Disneyland Forward. The thing that gets me right now, and when we've talked about this, I want to say it was like 2 years ago we talked about this.
It's a couple years ago, for sure.
This was before the DVC tower was built. So looking at the planning for this now, I'm realizing that there is a DVC tower that will be in the middle of a potential park.
Literally in the park.
So kind of going back to what we were talking about with, like them building something at Epcot, or, all of us would love to be in a hotel, like similar, like I've stayed at the Grand Californian, which has access into California Adventure, but this would be like right in the middle of one of the parks. Like that's crazy.
It is. The part that gets me, Trevor, too, and I don't know if it actually says it in this article, but they're also proposing apparently using a people mover like system to transport guests in between the parks, because they'll apparently will have, pedestrian bridges and stuff like that. But apparently they're also talking about doing a real people mover, actually building a people mover that is for transportation purposes, which if they were to do that, that would be amazing. I would go just for that, because I love the people mover, and I'm kind of sad that Disney never actually used it for real transportation,
Oh, totally. Yeah. Like have multiple stops so you can, get on, like kind of like what they do with the monorail right now in Disneyland, which is the monorail stops in Tomorrowland and at the Disneyland Hotel, or just close to the Disneyland Hotel. It's not like right outside of it anymore. But I agree. Is they should be planning for that. Is having means for people to jump between these parks or these sections without having to walk. The distance from where this is being shown to the Disneyland parks, it's still a bit of a walk, right? Like you're basically walking through downtown Disney to get to any of this stuff from Disneyland Park proper.
Yeah.
So
they kind of have to, right? Like
they should have something there, and with all the hotels and everything there, like there should be something now. As far as why we're talking about this, so the like you said, the planning commission approved this 5-1, which is pretty, or almost unanimous.
Almost unanimous, yeah.
But this doesn't mean that it's got like the full green light to go ahead, it still has to go before the Anaheim City Council, which will be happening in April. And, based on the planning commission, people are very positive about this, that it should go well in front of the city council. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, I mean, we will have to wait and see, because if you remember, and they actually mentioned it in this article, a couple years ago, Disneyland started working on a new hotel, and then the city council basically, there was a dispute with the city council, and they had to cancel that hotel.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Well,
yeah.
It was, there was the dispute, and Disney chose to pull the plug because they weren't playing the game with the city council.
Exactly.
Because they didn't like their demand, so they were just like, never mind.
Yeah, this was back all the way back in this was 6 years ago. So I mean, it was a while ago. And this article also notes too, and I have to find it because I scrolled away from it. According to information shared online by third parties during the planning meetings, there has been discussion of Disney Vacation Club and Anaheim's transient occupancy tax, suggesting that Disney intends to bring another DVC destination to the West Coast as part of the expansion. So, obviously,
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Disney understands that transient that tax is a problem for for the newest resort, and so maybe they're trying to get them to lower that or change it so they can justify.
Yeah, get a temporary agreement in place that it doesn't apply to that area or something like that. There is lots of room for negotiation on these things.
Yeah, I feel like they did something in the past where they had some sort of tax waiver for like a long period, like 20 years or something, because they did something for the city. I forget what it was, but I might be making that up, but I'm pretty sure they did something like that. So
yeah, and I guess part of this too. So some of the fine print on this is that to your point about the transient tax, is that Disney, or according to this article, Disney is committing to $30 million in affordable housing in the area. On top of all this, $40 million for street and transportation improvements and $10 million for sewer upgrades. So I think that may be part of the negotiations, that they're saying, hey, we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff to help, build up this area. So cut us a break on the transient tax. That's what I would think.
I could see their
swing on that, right?
Yeah, no, I could totally see that. And they're probably working on that kind of thing. There was a time in the past couple of years where they had a little bit of a acrimonious relationship between Disney and the Anaheim City Council, but it seems like it's not that anymore. So hopefully this does get approved, and Disney will be able to do this, because I think they're just really waiting to do it. They've announced already that they're going to be doing all this stuff over the next 10 years. They're already saying they're going to do $2 billion worth of stuff. I think they're just waiting. As soon as they get approval for this, they'll probably start making some announcements, I would think.
Yeah, I think it's been very smart of them to socialize this as much as they have, because, since there's the website and, people are talking about it and everything, it's very hard for the city council to ignore, not just Disney saying we want to do the stuff, but if like other people are coming to them and pressuring city council saying, why are you not letting Disney do this? I'm sure that's working in Disney's favor here. So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those things where Disney is very good at playing hardball behind the scenes, and I think this is as much as we're all seeing this as hey, this is very positive and everything, is that Disney's also they're pushing because they really want to do this, like they know what this means for just building Disneyland up into what they were hoping to do like years ago, like Westcott kind of stuff. So yeah, I think this is Disney, trying to finally push that through, right?
yeah, absolutely, agreed. So yeah, this is really it's very interesting, like you said, how they've been out here with it, like just kind of like on a PR tour, basically trying to get people on board with this, and I'll be interested to see what they decide on, because if you go on the Disneyland Forward website, they list a whole bunch of projects that already exist, but they pretty much say that like these just are giving us inspiration and ideas, right? So like they mentioned the Frozen Land in Hong Kong, they mentioned Zootopia, the new Zootopia Land, they mentioned Toy Story Land, they mentioned Tron. They're just mentioning all these different things. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. I don't know if they might not even know the full the full scope of what they're going to do. Because this is also two different areas we should note too, right? Like there's one area that's by the parks, and there's one that's like kind of across the way there that looks like they're saying a new kind of Disney entertainment could include theme park, hotel, retail, dining, and entertainment. So like it seems like they're going for something different with that one over there, but I don't really know.
More of a self-contained kind of thing, I guess. Like
I'm not really sure. I don't know. It's interesting.
Which I guess it's funny because like the Disney bubble is kind of self-contained, but yeah, they're making it sound like it'll be. I don't even know what I would equate it to. Like,
yeah. The interesting thing though too, Trevor, is like, so if you look at the picture, they have it color coded, right? So they have a bunch of hotels, and then they have a bunch of retail, dining, entertainment, and only one building is colored in as possible theme park experience. Like, what would that be? You know what I mean? Like they just put one theme park experience surrounded by retail
in a
and
building. Like,
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what, like that would be really interesting if they just had like some sort of experience that's around retail. I mean, it in a lot of ways like Disney Springs. Like I'm looking at it like it's like Disney Springs where there's like kind of a hotel, like Saratoga's right over there, and then they have the retail and the dining, and then they had the Void for a while. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's something like that, or like a Disney Quest kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, wow, yeah, Disney Quest West, that would be nuts.
Disney Quest West, I like it. It's fun.
Disney Quest West, yeah.
Disney Quest West. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, these are probably very fluid plans. Which, oh, by the way, the Void is making a comeback. I don't know if you saw that, but the Void like went bankrupt during COVID, and now they're like making a comeback. They're like relaunching. So,
oh, really? I was not aware of that. So
yeah, I saw that.
That is good.
That is good. That is good. I don't. They've been teasing that they're going to be doing something like new and different. So who knows what that is? But I guess we're going to find out. Hopefully, the VR's gotten better, so it doesn't weigh 1,000,000 pounds on your shoulders. But
yeah, and I guess the thing is that that it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to partner with Disney again, because they had a lot of stuff outside of Disney that they were doing.
But at one point, Disney they were investors, I think, in the Void. I think they own a piece of it. Yeah. So I don't know if they still do, but yeah. But to your point, it doesn't mean they're going to do anything with Disney. But I would love to see that experience go back to Disney Springs, because I mean that was really cool. I had a lot of fun with that. I would totally do it again. Despite the fact that they have to use a crane to lower it down onto your shoulders. I wish I was kidding about that, but it's it's totally true.
Oh no, it was a heavy pack. I know.
Yeah, I mean, you went to it. You had to like back up, and they like lowered it onto you. Like,
yep. Yeah, we did it. I think we did it 3 times total.
Yeah,
because we did it with my parents, and then me and my son did it twice. Yeah.
So wait, is technically half of this expansion going to be considered California Adventure and half of it Disneyland? Like, I'm trying to figure out how that works, because there's orange buildings that say, so half of it is California Adventure and half of it is Disneyland, which is interesting. Yeah, it's like one plot of land,
Yeah, so like looking at where the monorail line is, like that's kind of the middle of downtown Disney. You're right. One section of it would be next to Disneyland, and then the other section would be next to California Adventure. Specifically, like you can kind of see where like it's fuzzy in the one picture that it's like that it's Pixar Pier, or not the hotel, but like Pixar Pier is like right across the street. So they I don't know how that, like, because there's also they've said that that's also expanding west of Disneyland Drive. So right now like the what's it called, Downtown Disney actually has like there's a big bridge that goes over Disneyland Drive. Yeah. But if they're doing more expansion, like I feel like the entirety of Disneyland Drive will be like underground at this point from looking at this.
Kind of what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, so that other section we were talking about, I scrolled down a little bit further on the page. They said a new kind of Disney entertainment destination. They actually say specifically that it's modeled after Disney Springs. So I swear I didn't read that before I said it, but it says Disneyland guests with Disneyland Resort guests with restaurants, hotels, live music, shopping, ticketed shows, and theme park experience. Theme park experiences modeled after Disney Springs. So they're kind of trying to bring a Disney Springs, it seems like, to Disneyland, which they already have downtown Disney, though, right? I mean,
yeah, I was going to say that's not. I mean, to me, that's not the big selling point. But okay,
yeah, of course, yeah.
No.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm sure we'll have more to talk about this, especially, once D23 comes. I feel like D23 is going to be one of those D23s that is going to be filled with a lot of theme park announcements, including Disney World and Disneyland. I feel like it's going to be a big one. So and that's what I'm guessing is they're going to announce all these things. I think really they just want to wait until they get all the approvals, right?
Yeah, I think April, or the city council approval meeting is really going to make or break what we hear at D23 this year.
Exactly.
And that's not to say if they don't approve it this time, that doesn't mean that it's dead. It just means that they'll go back to the board and figure out how to get it approved. But yeah, if they get the green light, I would expect, we'll start hearing stuff from Disney pretty quick about it.
I would agree. All right. So we got one last thing, Trevor. I really need to make like some sort of like sound thing that I can put in here that's like a food alert. So like if people want to leave, if they want to leave, they can. But we're going to talk food. We're going to talk about Easter food. So for the people that are going to be there around Easter time. So this is one of those very limited ones, right? Where it's only for like a week, basically. Well, 2 weeks, I guess. Yeah. So let's see here. I'm just going to look at some of the new ones because I remember some of these. But I'm just looking at this carrot cake, cream cheese, citrus mousse with caramel insert, which they couldn't have come up with a better name than insert. Insert sounds terrible when you're talking about food. Chocolate shell and toasted coconut. That actually sounds pretty good.
Where is that at?
It's the first one.
I went way far down, and I totally.
it's the very first one. It's going to be at Mara.
That weird.
Yeah.
That weird. It almost looks like a pumpkin, but not really.
I don't know if that's the one or not.
I think it's supposed.
So.
I mean, it's supposed to be like a carrot, but it's weirdly.
Yeah.
Weirdly shaped. It almost looks like a pumpkin, which is confusing to me.
I want to say bulbous. That's a good word for it. I'm also looking here though too. I see some sort of it looks like, is that a Fruity Pebble? What is that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. They've got this cereal pop or
fruity cereal. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it looks like Fruity Pebbles, but they can't obviously say it's a Fruity Pebbles cereal pop.
Pebbles. It's very it's 100% Fruity Pebbles.
I usually don't go for the cereal treats, but I would go for that one because
I love a good Rice Krispie treat. Yeah. I like, this is basically a Rice Krispie treat. They just made it with Fruity Pebbles instead, right? Like essentially. They also have this bunny pop flower pot, which is a chocolate flower pot filled with jelly beans and 3 chocolate bunny pops. It looks very cool, and I would eat it just because I like chocolate, but
it's kind of basic.
It's a little basic, yeah. It's a little basic. I'm trying to see what else is new here.
All right.
Oh, Easter egg macaroons. Okay.
Yep.
I'm not a big macaroon fan.
The Easter bunny petite cake looks very nice. I don't know. I mean,
dare I say cute?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It's cool. And also the little panna cotta cup with just the butt of the bunny sticking out of the end of it is pretty funny. The one right next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they also have one of those piñatas over at the Ganachery, and which, I enjoyed. What?
It looks like a bunny, but you're supposed to hit it with a hammer?
Yeah, you're supposed to hit it with a hammer.
Okay. Just double checking.
I mean, sometimes you got to smash stuff with it. It's fun to smash those things. I'm telling you, it's a good time. Here's some interesting things. A Mickey Spring caramel apple. This is Granny Smith apple covered in caramel, dipped in yellow colored chocolate coating with springtime M&Ms. That's one thing they're allowed to use is M&Ms. It's not chocolate coated candy or whatever. And drizzled with white chocolate. Okay. I mean, we talked about this before. Not a big fan of candy apples. What?
So in the same section of pictures, there's the Mickey Spring cereal treat, or no, it's the popcorn, I guess is what it's.
Well, there's a cake pop, and there's a cereal treat, and there's a popcorn. They're all new.
Yeah, so the popcorn looks like, I'm sure it's good, but it looks like a bowl of cereal.
It does, yeah.
Which, that's why I thought it was the cereal treat, but I'm like, it just looks like somebody threw a bunch of stuff in a bowl and called it good. Like, it's not even, I don't know.
I get it. I mean, I thought it looked pretty good. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's following the same like pastel colors, and it's got that spring thing to it. But it's like you've got the Mickey candy apple, you've got the Mickey cereal bars, you got the Mickey cake pop, and then here's a bowl of like
cereal,
random stuff.
Here's a bowl of sugar. Have a bowl of sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just funny. Like I don't know how much they're selling me on that one.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's nothing really else I see on here that I want to point out. They do have some like stuff from Shanghai.
Yeah. They got Donald waffles. And
yeah, they got some Donald waffles.
What is that? Rose? Oh, is that a Duffy
character?
I guess. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of Duffy's friends. I thought it was Marie from the Aristocats, but no, it's not. But again, it's a cookie that's very well detailed and shaped like the character. And then again, the Donald waffle, which we don't get Donald waffles, we only get Mickey waffles.
Yeah, because we don't get all the fun things,
Yeah, we're not allowed to have nice things, apparently.
Oh man, it is funny.
There's a lot of Duffy looking stuff at the.
I was just gonna say it's funny because Duffy is like huge in the Asian parks, and no one cares about Duffy in the United States.
Yeah,
so it's just kind of a weird thing. I don't know. Is Rose part of the Duffy friends?
So actually, sorry, I'll throw this one out here because it was kind of funny. We bought the Disney Parks Game of Life game on our last trip, and so we were sitting down playing it. And you get different characters instead of your professions, you get a character. Instead of a doctor, it's like you've got like Genie with you or Figment or whatever. My son actually got Duffy as his character.
Oh, really? That's funny.
And he was so mad because
I can see that. Yeah,
because he was like, I don't want Duffy. Like this is the worst character. And of course, because they all have like different payday rates to them. Duffy's is not great. Like he's not a good character.
Duffy's not a good character to have.
Yeah, my son was pretty mad that he got stuck with Duffy when we were rolling around with like Figment and Maleficent and stuff.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Well, on that note, let's wrap this thing up.
All right. Let's wrap this up. So, as usual, you guys can always reach out to us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love getting your emails and listener questions and, all that great stuff from you guys. We just love talking to you guys. And you can also find us on social media as Welcome Home, or on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast, on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast, and on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. Make sure you check out our Facebook group called Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, where we've got lots of people in there that love to talk about Disney. We love talking with our Facebook group users, and, people post fun memes and talk about the show, and also talk about, their own trip planning and their own experiences in the park. So, if you want to come and get in on that, make sure you join the group. If you want to help support the show, you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com. You can check out our different types of merch, and, maybe if you need a shirt for your next trip, or just a mug for when you're sitting down listening to the podcast. You can grab a mug and have it ready to go as you're firing up this episode or the next episode. And we also do have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod, and you can check out our different levels of Patreon support, which have exclusive merch that you can only get through Patreon. And all of our Patreon supporters also get access to the Discord server, which is yet another place that we have great conversations with you guys. And, as you heard, some of our listener questions come out of there as well. So if that's of interest to you, please check that out. Last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. It does help more people find the show because, more people should find the show because we like doing the show. So
Yeah.
help other people find us. So leave us that 5-star review.
Yeah, and I don't have any this week, so no reviews this week. But please, send us some reviews if you can. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, just about any place you can find podcasts. You can find us. Just search for Welcome Home and look for the Disney one. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult a Disney cast member or DVC representative for more information about anything we talked about today. A huge thank you to our sponsor, DVC Resale Market and World of DVC, for always sponsoring the show and always being our biggest supporters. So please check them out if you want to buy or sell your DVC or just rent some DVC. You can, do all of that. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.